This is DD India. You're watching the Defense Dynamics and I'm Danveer Singh from New Delhi. At the end of November of 2024, the Russians and the Chinese strategic bombers conducted a joint air patrol over Sea of Japan, East China Sea and Western Pacific Ocean. The Russian Tu-95s and the Chinese H-6 strategic bombers conducted an 8-hour-long patrol accompanied by their fighter jets from both the countries. What has emerged out of this could be of interest to many in the Indian subcontinent. The J-16s have been found to grossly underperform. It has exposed the tall claims of Chinese defense technology. We'll talk about this. Why this is important to Indians, we'll get into greater details. Next in line is that India gets its INS Tushil, the latest multi-role stealth guided missile frigate. It was commissioned into the Indian Navy in Kaliningrad, Russia on December 9, 2024. Why INS Tushil underscores strong India-Russian strategic ties and strong friendship apart from building a stronger blue water navy. We will tell you that. And the final story is going to be of Russian Su-57. This aircraft has been in news, creating a buzz. Whether the Russians have offered this aircraft to India or not besides, but is India interested in it at the first place? All this appears to be a marketing hype since there has been no statement in this regard from the government of India. Nevertheless, we'll cover this fighter aircraft in necessary details for you. All this and much more in next 30 minutes or so. But before we get into the detailing, let's catch up with major defense news that has made headlines across the globe in the past week. The Indian Defence Ministry has awarded a contract to Hindustan Aeronautics Limited on 12th December to produce 12 Sukhoi Su-30 MKIs. The new batch of aircraft will be indigenous in content by 62.6% due to inclusion of many components to be manufactured by Indian defence industry. The aircraft will be manufactured at HAL's Nasik factory facility. The three national industrial partners of Global Combat Air Program, the GCAP, have formed a new joint venture to deliver 6th generation future aircraft for the mid-2030s. The agreement is between BAE Systems, Japan Aircraft Industrial Enhancement Corporation Limited and Italy's Leonardo. Holding equal stakes, GCAP will be the next generation combat aircraft which is expected to go beyond 2017. The British Army has successfully tested Raytheon UK's High Energy Laser Weapon System HELWS for the first time at Randor Range in Wales. The trial was of laser directed energy weapon demonstrator with British soldiers mounted on Wolfhound 6x6 armoured vehicle and operating the HELWS to track and neutralize moving aerial targets, specifically the drones. India has conducted high-altitude trials of the Indian light tank Zorawar in Ladakh on 12th of December. Indian light tank has achieved a major milestone by firing at different ranges at an altitude above 4,200 meters. These high-altitude tests were the second phase. The first phase was held in desert terrain in Rajasthan in September 2024. The Indian light tank is expected to be ready for induction into the Indian Army by 2027. Secretary of United States Air Force Frank Kendall has announced that they are delaying the next generation air dominance NGAD fighter selection until after 20th January of 2025. That is going to be with the new administration once it takes to office. NGAD selection widely thought to be between dueling bids of Boeing and the Lockheed Martin. A 6th generation fighter aircraft will form the centerpiece of network-connected NGAD family of systems. It will be complemented by multiple manned aircraft Loy wingman-style unmanned aerial vehicles, and advanced command, control and communication systems. The modern 6th generation fighter is expected to replace F-22 Raptor fighter aircraft in the beginning of 2030. Chinese J-16s have been found to grossly underperform. Now this is an important deduction by the Japanese. Since India's arch rival Pakistan uses a lot of Chinese technology, it's a good news for Indian Air Force. As per the media reports on November 29th and 30th of 2024, the Chinese and the Russian Air Force conducted joint patrols over Sea of Japan and nearby regions. However, the operation did not go as planned, and the Japanese Self-Defense Force exposed some startling inefficiencies in Chinese military aviation capabilities. On the first day of this exercise, a Chinese H-6 strategic bomber flew to the Sea of Japan to rendezvous with Russian forces. Typically, it's a norm to have an escort fighter jet accompanying such missions for protection. However, Chinese J-16 fighters escorting the bomber turned back after crossing the Tsushima Strait about 900 kilometers from Chinese mainland, thus leaving the bomber to continue alone. This raised questions about J-16's operational range. Despite boasting a theoretical range of 4,000 kilometers, the fighters carried only 4 missiles, just a fraction of their 12 available weapon stations, and still failed to complete the mission. Defense analysts attribute this to high fuel consumption of Chinese-built WS-10 engines, which fall short of performance of their Russian AL-41F predecessors. The next day, Russian Tu-95 bombers joined the operation, flying through the Tsushima Strait and heading towards the Pacific Ocean via Miyako Strait. The Japanese Self-Defense Force observations revealed that Chinese Yu-20 aerial tanker refueling J-16 fighters just 800 kilometers from China, a puzzling short distance for refueling. This premature refueling suggests severe limitation in J-16's range when equipped with WS-10 engines. Even more telling, 2 additional J-16 fighters sent to escort the H-6 bombers came back to base after they failed to reach Miyako Strait, underscoring persistent fuel and range constraints. The J-16's range claims were thus totally and clearly exaggerated. While its advertised 4,000 km range assumed subsonic cruising without combat maneuvers, real-world conditions drastically reduce its combat radius possibly to less than 1,000 km. China's engine technology continues to be a major bottleneck. For instance, the WS-10 engine's high fuel consumption limits the range, while reliability issues plague high-performance models like the WS-15 used in J-20 stealth fighter. In one test flight, WS-15 suffered high-temperature failures at speeds near Mach 2.5. These engine limitations undermine China's claims for long-range capabilities for other aircrafts, such as J-20 and the J-35. Underlying these technical and tactical failures is the widespread corruption within the China's military-industrial complex. Recent anti-corruption campaigns have removed numerous high-ranking officials, exposing mismanagement and inefficiencies in defense projects. For example, one engine development program reportedly consumed over 15 billion yuan, yet only a fraction of that funding went towards actual research and development. The joint patrols between China and Russia served more as a political theatre than demonstration of military strength. China's H-6 bomber flew without payload, undermining its claim as a strategic deterrent, while operational flaws exposed glaring weaknesses in Chinese aviation technology. For Russia, the exercise was a symbolic gesture than a commitment to robust cooperation. The events of November 29th and 30th highlight the challenges facing China's ambitions to project power beyond its border. As Beijing grapples with technological limitations and systemic corruption, its ability to match the capabilities of established military powers remains questionable. Currently, only 3 nations operate true bombers, and that includes United States, Russia and China. While all 3 countries are also seeking to develop new bombers, the United States has a clear lead with its Northrop Grumman B-21 radar. All 3 of these respective air forces continue to operate bombers that are far older than the crews flying them. In case of Chinese Xi'an H-6, it's an old bomber, and more importantly, the People's Liberation Army Air Force still has as many as 231 in service. According to United States military reports, the latest version of the Chinese strategic bomber is H-6N, a heavily redesigned version capable of aerial refueling and carrying air-launched cruise missiles. The US Pentagon has warned that the aircraft could provide PLAF with long-range standoff offensive air capability with precision-guided munitions, including the indigenously designed cruise missiles like HN-1, HN-2, HN-3, DH-10/CJ-10 and a variant of Russian-designed cruise missiles. It is believed that the CJ-10 was chosen to be the main land attack missile for H-6 bombers, and now the H-6M cruise missile carrier, which has 4 pylons for improved cruise missiles and is fitted with terrain following system. Though an old platform, the H-6 remains a viable and a capable bomber in the 21st century. It is claimed that H-6K bomber is capable of carrying wide variety of munitions, including KD-20 land attack missile, the YJ-12 supersonic anti-ship missile and YJ-21 hypersonic missiles. INS Tushil, the latest multirole stealth guided missile frigate, was commissioned into the Indian Navy in presence of India's Defence Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh at Yantar shipyard in Kaliningrad, Russia on December 9th of the year 2024. Mr. Rajnath in his address described the commissioning as proud testament to India's growing maritime strength and significant milestone in the long-standing friendship between India and Russia, which are bound together by shared values, mutual trust and special strategic privileged partnership. First, let's check out what are the capabilities that come with INS Tushil and why it is a blue water punch enhancer. INS Tushil is an upgraded Krivak 3 class frigates of Project 1135.6, of which 6 are already in service. 3 Talwar class ships built at Baltiskai shipyard, St. Petersburg, and 3 follow-on Teg class ships built at Yantar shipyard, Kaliningrad. INS Tushil, the 7th in the series, is the first of the 2 upgraded additional follow-on ships, the contract of which was signed in October 16 between JSC Rosoborn Export, Indian Navy and the Government of India. INS Tushil is designed for blue water operations across the spectrum of naval warfare in all 4 dimensions, that is air, surface, underwater and electromagnetic spectrum. It is armed with a range of advanced weapons, including the jointly developed BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles, vertically launched surface-to-air missiles with enhanced ranges,
upgraded medium-range anti-air and surface guns with advanced stealth features, optically controlled close-range rapid-fire gun system, anti-submarine torpedoes, and rockets and advanced electronic warfare and communication suite. The ship is also capable of embarking the upgraded anti-submarine and airborne early warning helicopters like the Kamov 28 and Kamov 31. These helicopters are formidable force multipliers by themselves. The ship is powered by an advanced gas turbine propulsion plant with state-of-the-art controls and is capable of achieving speeds in excess of 30 knots. High degree of automation and stealth features further enhances combat capability and survivability. INS Tushil's keel was laid on July 12, 2013 and was launched in water in October 2021. The ship sailed out of her maiden sea trials on January 25th of the year 2024 and completed an exhaustive schedule of factory trials followed by state committee trials and finally delivery acceptance trials both in harbour and at sea by September 24th of the year 2024. The ship has successfully carried out firing trials of all her Russian weapon systems and would reach India in near combat ready conditions.
India's expansive strategic partnership with Russia was reinforced when India's Defence Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh told President Putin that their friendship is higher than the highest mountain and deeper than the deepest ocean. As the two countries inked a wide-ranging protocol on defence cooperation in ongoing perspective areas. In this almost an hour-long meeting with Putin at Kremlin, Singh also stressed that India has always stood by its Russian friends and will continue to do so in future, underlining the fine balance India has struck between Russia and United States-led Western countries even during the ongoing Ukraine war. Putin and Singh were of the view that the bilateral partners' combined efforts will pave way for a remarkable outcomes in the future. Russia's Su-57 stealth fighter has reportedly taken a bold leap into future, integrating advanced sixth-generation technologies, highlighting Moscow's commitment to keep its cutting-edge warplanes relevant for decades to come. Some sections of press have even speculated the Indian interest in this project, which appears to generate an unnecessary hype, since the Government of India has not mentioned anything in this regard so far. Nevertheless, these upgrades are likely to include modular solutions designed to future-proof the Su-57 and enhance its capabilities over time. Sixth-generation fighter technology is generally associated with breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, network warfare, advanced sensors, and next-generation weaponry.
The Su-57 is Russia's fifth-generation stealth fighter and is equipped with advanced avionics and systems designed for air superiority, precision strikes, and multi-role capabilities. One of the key features of Su-57 is its integrated avionics suite, which combines advanced radar, infrared sensors, and electronic warfare equipment. The radar system, known as the N035 Irbis, is capable of detecting and tracking targets at long ranges, even in challenging environments. Additionally, the aircraft includes a wide range of optical and infrared sensors, providing enhanced situational awareness and targeting precision. The Su-57 is designed to carry a variety of air-to-air and air-to-ground munitions, offering flexibility in combat scenarios. Its weapon systems include guided missiles such as the R-77 and R-74 for air combat, as well as precision-guided bombs and rockets for ground strikes. The aircraft also features internal weapons bay to maintain its stealth profile. allowing it to carry out missions without compromising its radar cross-section. The Su-57's weaponry can be controlled through an advanced fire control system that integrates aircraft sensors, ensuring precise targeting even in complex operational conditions. In terms of its propulsion, the maneuverability of Su-57 is powered by two Saturn AL-41F1 engines, providing thrust vectoring capabilities for superior agility and speed. The aircraft's design includes composite materials to reduce weight and increase durability, contributing to its overall stealth features. The aerodynamics and engines enable it to achieve speeds of Mach 2 and fly supersonic without afterburners or supercruise at Mach 1.3, thus giving it a significant kinetic advantage and extend the range of missiles and bombs over previous generation of aircraft. Combined with high fuel load, the fighter has supersonic range of 1,500 km, more than twice that of Su-27. An extendable refueling probe is available to further increase its range. Su-57, which already boasts stealth feature, supermanoeuvrability, and array of modern weapons, appears set to become even deadlier. This move could signal Moscow's determination to stay ahead in the race of air domination, positioning Su-57 as a cornerstone of its air force in the foreseeable future.
Russia has recently released a video showcasing their Su-57 thrust vector control. So this thrust vector control is there on the video wall. In this video you can see that the thrust vector controls are being shown. Now it not only enhances maneuverability, but what it does is it reduces the IR signature. Now these are the thrust vectors in the exhaust. So they have a peculiar shape and a feature because of which it can swell up, down, left and right as shown on the video, that it can control the aircraft's roll, yaw and pitch. Not only they increase the aircraft's maneuverability but also negate the IR signatures, making it truly a 6th generation fighter aircraft. With this we come to the end of this episode, but before I go, here is my take. India's need for self-reliance in fighter aircraft stems from strategic, economic and technological imperatives. This is crucial for the country for maintaining strategic independence. Dependence on foreign suppliers for fighter jet makes India vulnerable to geopolitical pressures, sanctions or supply chain disruptions during crisis. Self-reliance ensures that India has full control over upgrades, modifications and operational readiness of its fighter fleet without external dependency. India's AMCA is not just an aircraft, it is a symbol of India's aspiration for technological sovereignty and defense modernization. India's Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft AMCA is a program that represents country's ambition. It's a step towards developing a cutting-edge stealth fighter that can compete with global 6th generation aircrafts. The AMCA is primarily a 5th generation fighter aircraft in its initial Mach 1 version, with provisions of incorporating 6th generation technologies in Mach 2 version. This aligns with global trends where emerging capabilities define 6th generation fighter aircraft. See you next week with new stories and their analysis. Thanks for watching and do post your comment on social media with #DD with Danvi. Goodbye and take care.